Hello, hello, hello. Welcome everyone. It's your boy Mr. Degenerate back at it again for another damn video and oh boy, your boy just finished watched Moon Knight. And man, I got a lot to say on the Disney Plus shows. Not so much Moon Knight because Moon Knight is fucking amazing. If you haven't watched Moon Knight, I highly recommend to watch Moon Knight. Moon Knight is the shit. Um, and I think the best way I can sell this to people is Moon Knight is like Indiana Jones mixed with Fight Club. And that's the best way I can describe the show. It is fantastic. I love what they do with Mark Spector and Steven. Um, it is fantastic. I think that whole premise and that whole idea is interesting and fascinating, but then it becomes like a globe-trotting adventure show. But the show is just fantastic, and I can't praise it anymore. I think Oscar Isaac is fucking fantastic. I think the whole cast is really good, and I think the mythos of what they've created of Moon Knight, the character, is so fascinating. By the end of the show, I literally, and this is the first time in a long time, I haven't felt this way since a Phase 1 Marvel movie, where I genuinely said that I am so, by the end of watching this show, I was like, I'm so intrigued by this character, I need to read his comic book. Like, Moon Knight as a character is fantastic when you're dealing with this whole multiple personality disorder type of thing. I don't think I've seen that so much in a superhero show besides another show called Legion. And Legion was really good. I don't know if anybody remembers that show. It was on FX and it was like a X-Men spin-off show. But this show does it so great. And I think the biggest praise I'll also give to Moon Knight is it feels so disconnected from the Marvel movies and Marvel Cinematic Universe that this could have been its own standalone show and I would be completely fine. There's no big reference to any of the Marvel shit. I don't even know what phase, where in the timeline this movie fits. It could be anywhere in the timeline and I would be completely fine. This show is fucking fantastic, and I want Marvel to take more risk with this type of stuff. Um, when it comes on to timelines and not being so specific on when certain things take place, because it creates freedom to do whatever the fuck you want in the MCU. Hell, this show could have taken place around the time, I would say, in between the 5 year gap that we had in Endgame. So, but that I think the show is amazing. Having said that, I have a huge complaint, and this complaint doesn't have to just do with Moon Knight. This complaint has to do with the fucking Disney Plus shows for Marvel in particular. Why the fuck is the final episodes these fucking rush trash ass piece of shit? I'm not gonna use Moon Knight as an example because the show is brand new, but I will say I did feel the final episode of Moon Knight just was just all over the fucking place. And granted, there was some lovable moments. There was one moment in the final episode of Moon Knight that generally had me tearing up from a story beat standpoint. But fuck me, these fucking episodes, these 6 episodes are not cutting it for these stories that Disney's trying to tell. I look at the whole Disney Plus shows, and I'm just not impressed by what I'm seeing in the final episodes. I look at a show like Hawkeye. Hawkeye was the last show, and that final episode was dismal. because yeah, it introduced the Kingpin. Spoilers. Yeah, it introduced the Kingpin, and he was the big bad, the secret big bad. But if you haven't watched Daredevil, you wouldn't give a fuck or understand anything about Kingpin in this. Uh, it was supposed to set up. I know it's supposed to set up Echo's character, but Echo Harley leaves a lasting impression that I just couldn't care less about her character. And no disrespect to the actress, I think the actress did a fine job, a really nice job. But since the season is so fucking short, we don't really get to dive into Echo's character at all. So when she does a particular shit in the final episode, I'm just like, okay, like she has a relationship with this one dude, and I'm just like, that relationship wasn't built upon, so I don't feel anything. I don't know. This doesn't just apply to that. This also applies to Falcon and the Winter Soldier, that final episode. Like the whole season was just, I felt like was trying to build up to Flag Smashers and US Agent to be the villain. But, you know, I felt like they by the end they kind of dropped the ball on at least for US Agent. They dropped the ball. It's kind of like they were too afraid to commit to him being a villain, so we just got to keep him neutral. And also by the end, like everyone's kind of cool with him. Like Falcon's cool with him, Bucky's cool with him. I'm just like, huh? Like he just killed somebody on national TV. Like what the fuck? It's just shit like that. It's just like, again, if we had more time, had an episode or more episodes to explore these characters in the sense of, with that show, in the sense of like spending a day or some time with US Agent's character, I would be like, this is fucking dope. What else? Like just really annoying shits on the final episode. Just inconsistent writing. WandaVision, I've talked about this numerous times to my friends. Like I love WandaVision. Again, top 3 favorite Disney Plus show. Jesus Christ, WandaVision final episode becomes a typical Marvel movie, and that's kind of the same problem I have with Moon Knight. It becomes a typical Marvel third act fight CGI flop fest, and they're trying, by the end, they it feels like they're too afraid to commit to Wanda being a villain. I felt like they were just like, oh well, we gotta have the fans fucking sympathize with Wanda. We can't have anybody outright hate her or see her as a villain, so we gotta keep her as like neutral. We gotta keep her as an anti-hero. And it's like, bro, it's like, have her be the fucking villain. She's the villain of the show, man. That's what you were leading on. And then you kind of backed out by having fucking, what's her name? The black girl come out and say, well, they will never understand what you sacrifice. Motherfucker, you torture them for a fucking week or 2 weeks. Like, what are you talking about? You literally had one of the fucking civilians say, if you're not gonna let us go, please kill us. I'm like, what the fuck, Wanda? And Wanda was like, no, everything's gonna be fine. Trust me. And like, I have the situation under control. I'm just trying to make your lives even better. I'm like, she was complete delusional, and I just wish they would have leaned into that. Just keep going, and they don't. And it's like Disney. The problem with these Disney Plus shows, on the surface, is that they start up these interesting plot points and everything, and then they rush it by the end. The final episode is always sloppy, man. Always. I think the only show that gets it right is Loki, and that's because that whole show is just nothing but characters just talking and having general character development at the expense of Loki as a character. That's another thing, even though, again, that show is like one of my top 3 favorite Disney Plus shows. So I'm here laying out like my top 3 Disney Plus shows, but I just can't. I don't understand why Disney is doing this. I don't get it. It's fucking weird. I don't know if they're afraid to do 8 episodes. I said it. I'll say it before and I'll say it again. I think the sweet spot of any television show, especially if it's on the streaming network, is 8 to 12 episodes. So that way you can just dive into these characters, see what makes them tick even more. If you want to have an episode where it just focus on one character to lead up to a particular moment, I think that's fantastic. And I think a lot of that you need. I don't want an episode or a moment. It reminds me of, you know, going back to Falcon and the Winter Soldier, that moment in Falcon and the Winter Soldier where throughout the whole show, the Atom, I keep calling them Atom Smashers, the fucking Flag Smashers keep talking about how life was during the 5-year gap between Infinity War and Endgame, like that whole time period where the blip happened, and they talk about how great things were. Have an episode exploring that shit. Like, what the fuck? Like, why are we not having a episode where we have the villain going through the villain's life and seeing how they grew up, all that stuff, and how Thanos snap actually helped them in the long run. Like, I would love to explore that shit. But again, 6 episodes ain't cutting it, man. These 6 episodes fucking shows are not cutting it. And don't even get me started on fucking What If. I think What If is the weakest of the Disney Plus shows. Like that should have been an anthology series and not a fucking typical interconnected show. That should have been an anthology series. I said you could do some crazy shit with the art design and whatever. Instead, we have to have all the characters from the different timelines, a different multiverse tag team. No, fuck all that. We don't want that. I don't want that. Fuck all that. Remove that show and its shitty ass art style. Fuck them. Fuck them and fuck it. Anywho, I don't know. Like, just these Disney Plus shows, I just don't fucking get it with the final parts, man. And for me, Moon Knight was a fucking 9, high 9, man. I was feeling that show so hard. I was like, I cannot wait. I'm like, yo, give me a season 9 at this point, bro. I'm all in on this fucking show. And then I get to this shit, get to the final episode. I'm just like, oh, no. Shit don't make sense. Fucking, just so much of it feels rushed and anticlimactic. And then it has the 3rd act fucking Marvel problem. Ugh, no. We gotta do something. We gotta do something, Kevin Feige, bro. We gotta do something about these 3rd act problems, man. It's just all over the fucking place. Anywho, that's my little rant on this. I hope you guys enjoyed it. That's all I'm gonna say for this video for right now. So I'm gonna catch you degenerates later. Peace out.